So the report looks at a couple of things. It does some in-depth studies of the processes of labour market adjustment in WA, and we also look at where there's skill shortages juxtaposed by latent sources of labour that could be used and seen to be underutilised. One of the key findings was about the efficiency of the labour market in matching vacancies to workers. For a number of the unique features of the WA economy, that's actually a bit harder in WA.
We look at family and childcare related reasons constraining women's participation. What we find is that 45% of prime age women who aren't in the labour force are engaged in childcare. Moreover, we show that more than 50% of individuals who have tried to utilise childcare services find the cost a problem.
In the ages of 24 to 64, we estimate there's about 130,000 people outside of the labour force. About half of those would like to work if they could, and many of them are women, and taking on caring roles are the main barrier. And also a significant proportion of older workers, and a lot of these are skilled. About half have a trade certificate or higher, and about a quarter of them have a university degree. We also think there's a significant portion of people with a disability who could be working who are excluded or marginalised.
Our report shows that certainly there is a role for migration, but we also show that there are underrepresented groups of the population in the labour market. Women are one of such groups. We see significant gender gaps in participation rates of men and women, and closing those gaps could lead to significant gains.
One of the key policy recommendations relates to the importance of housing. So you really need to have housing supply in line with labour market demand and growth projections. We find with the unemployed, because of the sort of poverty trap effect, unemployed people tend to stay where housing is cheap rather than moving to areas of opportunity. We also see that housing prices are a really important driver of interstate migration, overseas migration. So if you want to address skills shortages, you really need to make sure there's adequate housing supply.